Hi, I'm Yasmin Owusu, and this is my producer, Charlie Kesenek.
I'm your husband, and you're using all my stuff right now. What are you talking about?
So anyway, I've been looking for a one-stop shop podcast for wellness, amateur sociology, psychology, pop culture, and whatever else sparks my interest. So I created one. We are limited to no lanes. We hit the gas and get into it. This is Peaked. Press play. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. We have you 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. I feel like every week I go, hey, how's it going?
I mean, what else are you going to say to hey, Charlie?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're going to start coming up with catchphrases for every time I say hi to you?
No, but I am going to overthink everything that I say on every podcast.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Forever.
Amazing.
It's going to be very natural.
All right, well.
It's okay. I already overthink everything I say in real life too, so.
Yeah, the paranoid
Perfect.
vibe might actually fit into our subject today.
It's
We won't
perfect.
get right into that. If you have on your mind, on your nerves, prepared, that's great. Oh, it looks
I
like you
do.
do.
I'm
Okay.
prepared.
Oh, you look very smart.
I'm totally not prepared for our topic, but I am prepared for...
Do we prepare for topics? I feel like I scrawl 3 pieces of chicken scratch and then we just yak.
I'm always...
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, well,
No,
you're
definitely
alone
not.
on that.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
not. Definitely not.
So let's do it. What is on your mind, on your heart, on your nerves, on your ass? What if I take in the PlayStation? Disconnected.
Hey, that's racist. I won't stand for that. I'm leaving.
I don't even know what to say.
Stay. I'm going to stay. Yeah, I've got something that is on my nerves.
What's that?
It's music related because I don't know if you know.
Is?
It's just music. Music's
That's
on my
crazy.
nerves. Yeah.
Okay.
Just generally kind of sick of it. No.
You're over music.
I don't like when bands dress up in silly costumes. And specifically, I don't like when bands dress up in silly costumes and tell everyone that they're from another planet.
This feels really specific to one band.
It's not. It's specific to like 80 bands. It keeps happening. More
Which
and more
bands
bands.
say they're from outer space?
I'm not
I
naming
mean, Bowie
any
was
names.
saying that for a while.
Okay, so Bowie did it early.
Yeah.
Fine. Early adopter. P-Funk, Mothership,
You could say
Funk
Devo
Connection.
or Funny Outfits. I don't remember them saying they're from outer space.
I don't
outer
remember.
Space, though.
I don't remember if they specifically say that. But they did wear matching hats, which again, it's like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Even
I
that.
don't know. It was cute. It was not cute. It was like cool imagery.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know?
For a music video, awesome. You have like a bit of a thing, that's fine. Y'all wear matching hats. I get it.
It's just, it's an artistic decision.
There's
maybe.
like 5 too many, maybe like 100 million too many bands that are like, and the funny thing is, they're actually from another dimension, like in their press and all that. It's
Name
like,
them.
I'm not naming anyone. I'm definitely not naming like modern
I want to
bands.
be toxic. Just say who they are.
I'm definitely not. I've been sent a number of times. I'm like sent links by friends and hi Barley. I don't know. There's just like way too many bands that it's like they're in a costume and they're like saying that they're from another planet, and it's just like a shtick that's like, you're distracting from the music. Like, either just like focus on the music. I just want more focus on the music. I understand every band, every artist has to do something with their image. They have to think about their image in some way.
They don't all have to.
They have to come
Some
up
of them
with a-
just dress like regular guy.
Right,
but I
right.
don't think there's necessarily something wrong with if you do find that you're a visual artist or you're visually creative
Yeah.
along with being like you are to some extent, right?
Of
like you're really
course.
heavily involved in your album art. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying like there are people like the Yeah-Yeahs or whatever who add a really big visual element to like their costume and whatever. And I don't think
Yes.
that's inherently bad, but
Not
I
at
can
all.
agree that if it's just like this huge gimmick and you never break character, that can kind of be annoying. For sure.
Like coming up with your story is a slog. Like, like again, it's just it's a selling point. It's a marketing thing, and I understand that that's what we have to have some relatability. I don't know. Maybe it's just coming from like growing up in the '90s and like bands were just bands and they just like made cool music, and it seemed like there was so much less of a.
Hey, there are plenty of bands that still wear a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and like play shows. Like
I
that
know.
still exists.
I'm not saying everyone needs to do that, and again, I agree. Like a nice visual element is a total bonus, and I think it's part of the artistry of it. But
So maybe it's just that it's unoriginal. Is that it? Because like I feel like someone like David Byrne, who's he's got his big shoulder pad suit. Like a lot of that stuff is really iconic, and it ties into his video imagery and stuff.
no, I'm not knocking on having.
No, but I'm saying maybe is that what's getting you? It's that it's an unoriginal concept, and too many people are doing the same one.
Yeah, that one specifically is really tired. It's like music from another planet. Sun Ra did it. So many people have done it.
Yeah.
So many people have claimed that
AT aliens.
Yeah. There you go. At least they just called it their album name and not like.
Right.
They're not like, we are from another planet, and like don't break character in interviews.
I'm not sure that Andre isn't. Maybe. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Well, if you were an alien, you
Some
probably wouldn't be like,
weird-ass
we're aliens from another planet, come to make you dance.
Planet. Yeah.
I'm fucking tired of that shit. Like, I'm just done with it. I don't know. Just move on. Find something else. Come up with another. Yeah, it's an unoriginal shtick, and I'm just like, I'm so bored of it, and I'm so tired of hearing people be like, they're from another planet.
I can dig it.
If I hear one more person say that, I'm gonna puke. I already did last time I heard someone say it. So.
I'm from another planet. This podcast is about being.
This podcast is from another
suddenly
planet.
I'm like, my hat looks like I would sort of say something like that, right? Like, I'm like
that's our new thing.
I
Pete's
don't know.
podcast.
This kind of looks like ZZ Top Guy's hat.
Coming
right?
you from Alteron 7. It's like, oh my God, I want
Yeah.
to die every time I hear that shit. I'm going out of camera to get my seltzer.
Okay, fair. This really does feel like it's on your mind, in your sphincter. It's like
on my
crawled up into your intestines.
It's a problem. How about
Mine
you?
is on
You
my
got anything?
nerves too, and you knew it was going to be. I had one week where it was on my mind, and now I'm back to on my nerves.
That week sucked. Just kidding.
Yeah, I try to keep it as vitriolic as possible in this environment. But mine is just, maybe it is also just on my mind. And you'll know why from having talked to me today, but it's people having or communicating not in good faith is on my mind a lot, because of social media and also just, I don't know, the way that we interact with communication and information through text, like secondary ways, right? I wonder if that affects people's tendency to use communicating for reasons other than getting together on something, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like I feel so often if I'm in a comment section or someone's commenting something to me or, in that realm, especially of like social media interactions, a lot of people seem to not be communicating in good faith. And to explain what that means is it's almost a commitment to misunderstand you. Like so often I feel like people absolutely know what you mean. And it's not just towards me. I'll see this towards other people. Maybe someone like English second language to someone, and someone will in the comments be like, what? Like, you know what the person meant, and you know very well that you know what it meant. So either they'll start to kind of litigate your typo or litigate your kind of slightly wrong verbiage.
Yeah.
They know precisely what is being conveyed. And maybe they do disagree, but if they don't feel like they have the fine points of their argument, they'll sort of just go to something semantic and easy.
Yes.
Or it's like, I feel sometimes that it's coming from an emotion, an irritation about something. Maybe they have something on their mind, on their nerve, in their ass, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're coming into the conversation with something pathological or, something neurotic, which has nothing to do with the conversation. It just causes a lot of combative or just purposely being confused.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times my response to what someone says about them being confused is like, I'm confused that you're confused.
Yeah.
I think you know precisely what's being said.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of that
I feel
glibness and people kind of, being, there's a word like obtuse. I think there's a lot of obtuse communication online.
Yeah. I feel like there are kind of like two types of people. There are like people who want to discuss something to figure it out, and people who just
In
want
good faith.
in good faith, and people who just want to win arguments, no holds barred, just like no matter what. If I can catch ya.
They came here to fight. They came here to gotcha.
To win.
They're actually hoping you disagree more than you can understand each other, more than they want to explain themselves. You can absolutely disagree with me. People do routinely, and I have completely okay interactions with them in person, online, whatever.
Yeah.
Several people don't agree with, our last episode was about Whiplash, and I think a lot of people like that movie, and a lot of people wrote comments saying that they did and they were completely fine.
Yeah.
And then, you have a couple that are, you can't talk about the thing because they're highly emotional about it. And so it's really not about having a convincing argument or going back and forth with points, with actual debatable points. And it's more, they're going to argue your specific verbiage in a semantic way, right? And it's okay to correct if something is misspoken. But I think when it's completely understood, a milliliter left of the right exact verbiage, maybe even not that, and to litigate that instead of the point, I think is really common. And I find it frustrating. I'm really learning to not engage in bad faith communication.
Yeah. What's the point?
It's not that hard to identify. And once you realize you're in it, it's best just to be like, you got it, bud.
Yeah. Whatever you win. Yeah. If you want to win, you can win. I don't know.
I'll just kind of give a lot of responses that are just like, you bet.
Yeah, and it almost feels like in that case of like of Whiplash or something, it's like someone who loves drinking problem, someone who loves the movie, and they're
for
just
anyone
like,
not watching video, I drank out of my can from the wrong direction. Charlie didn't just stop in the middle of talking to me and say drinking problem.
I forgot this is also just audio. Whoops.
Yeah.
I think in that case somebody was probably likes the movie a lot. And they're really upset that you've made them consider that it might not be good.
Right. Or they feel personally judged by your feeling of not liking something they hold dear. And that is also a really strange emotional thing that I find people have. I don't care if anybody doesn't like a band that I like. It doesn't mean anything to me. I actually don't connect it to my identity that I like those bands. It's really a lot of bands or music or art that I like. It's really important to me. I love it a lot. But I don't know that it's like ingrained in my identity. I don't know if insulting it is insulting me. But I feel like a lot of people do feel like if you don't like the things they like, the TV shows that you're calling them bad, you're calling them stupid, right? And I think you get a lot of those emotional reactions for that reason. And then you get some in bad faith communication.
That said, you are stupid if you like Whiplash. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
All right.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
All right, Edge Bro. Let's move it along into our topic right from there. From Charlie's in bad faith joke.
Yeah.
Kidding. I wanted to get into conspiracy theories a bit. Not that I'm going to go down rabbit holes of conspiracy theories, but more I want to talk about the phenomenon of them, our vibes towards them. And I know you can't imagine why I'd want to bring up a topic like this right now.
I don't believe in them.
There's really nothing going on right now that would make anybody start to think more about conspiracy theories and why maybe the negative connotation of suspecting conspiracies might have happened in the first place. There's nothing leading us to that point.
Nope, can't think of anything, actually.
Nothing beginning with an E and rhyming with Schmepschneen, Schmiles, could possibly be causing our increased interest in how the tinfoil hat and all these like terminologies around negative connotations towards believing that certain things are conspiracy. How did that all come about? And I, just to launch in, this is what my notes look like. For anyone not watching, it's literally 3 things on a page.
Sentences.
I'm not like a huge extensive note person, but I did want to see like, when was that term coined, conspiracy theories, right? Because I had a preconceived notion that it was kind of a CIA kind of created term to discredit the Kennedy assassination.
So wait,
theories.
like just the terminology conspiracy theory is in and of itself a conspiracy theory?
That was my impression.
Okay.
I looked it up, and actually it was coined in the 19th century. And it was used, around the Garfield assassination and blah, blah. But the negative connotation that we're more used to was popularized by the CIA to discredit the Warren Commission, which was, looking into essentially the Kennedy assassination. So there's some veracity what I'm saying about how it was so popularized and how we started really talking about it, like tinfoil hats, crazy town, like, crazy paranoid marijuana, psycho people, like living in their, shotgun sheds. All of that kind of connotation was kind of around that. Whereas like just the term conspiracy theory, it was very just in good faith term meant to describe that people had a theory about a conspiracy, which isn't inherently bad. It doesn't have a necessarily an insulting connotation.
Right. And now, in most of our lives, right, or our entire lives, conspiracy theory has had a very negative connotation.
Yes.
It's like you're a conspiracy theorist. That is essentially like,
yes,
you're a person, you're a quack.
If you say a friend has a bunch of conspiracy theories, you're not saying this is a super smart person who's like, skeptical about stuff. You're like, that's a whack job.
This is a well-researched friend of mine.
Exactly. Yeah, do you love how much of a like Taurus, I look something up hoping for confirmation bias, found that I was wrong, but I found some way to just tell everyone I was actually right.
I mean,
that's essentially what happened.
No, I mean, I get it. Yeah.
The way that we understand that term now was kind of around the Kennedy assassination Warren Commission thing. Yeah. The term itself was in fact coined in the 19th century.
Right.
Fair?
Understood. Heard. Fairness.
Okay.
Fair.
So I would say for myself, one of the most prominent conspiracy theories that it was called that I remember hearing about was around the Kennedy assassination.
Yep.
For sure. And then the consequent string of Kennedy assassinations. We're all talking about JFK when we talk about the Kennedy assassination, but listen, they're dropping like flies, and they have been my whole life. Oh my God, who is revving an
Someone
engine right
is
now?
having like an absolute drag
this
race
feels
outside.
like a conspiracy theory against
insane.
me. Like I don't live on a Formula One course, but
Actually,
someone is. I don't know what even vehicle that is.
I don't know, but the car just died. He probably just killed it. That was its swan song.
I like lost the English language because I was getting. I don't know what even vehicle that is.
I don't even know
what is that.
What even make this sound? Yeah, exactly.
I got a little incensed there, but
it's okay. It's okay. Yes, the Kennedy thing. I'll speak for myself. My entire life was like the pinnacle of like, you're an idiot if you think that Kennedy, you're crazy. You're on the fringe of society. If you think that our government would assassinate its own president. And now it's like pretty much everyone, I think we all pretty much agree that he was probably killed by the CIA. He was killed by the CIA.
It's
essentially common.
I feel like most of us do not think the given story is that. I mean, they've done all these angles and how many shots. I won't get into it too much because again, I don't necessarily want to like go down every rabbit hole ever. But
they've all but admitted that it's right at this point. I don't know.
They'll never
admit it.
They've fully admitted anything. But I do think that most of us at this point believe that it's a little sketch.
Pretty damning.
Yeah, especially knowing as much as we do know about what the CIA is capable of now and how much they've.
Do they do bad things?
Yeah, and we want to talk about many of these things. Yeah. I mean, namely the Watergate thing. All this foreign policy, war on drugs shit, and crack in the crack in the ghettos in our country. Like these operations, and basically infiltrating the Black Panther Party. All of this stuff is very much like fully come out and documented and, unredacted the way that the Schneepstein files are heavily redacted. Interesting how we're redacting names that are not victims. There's actually no good reason to do that whatsoever.
No good reason.
So now that we know the scope of what actually has come out, I mean, all this alien stuff that's fully come out now, fully been admitted, all the depositions, we understand how much they're willing to mislead and how much they're willing to murder. So it doesn't feel, here he goes again.
There he goes.
It doesn't feel as outlandish as it might have to many people that that's something our government would take part in.
Yeah, no.
I mean, remember that crazy movie we watched or documentary about who is that woman who she had a politician husband who was involved with the Watergate thing to some extent, and they trapped her in a room and all this crazy freaking, and it was all connected to the Watergate cover up, which I don't think I need to explain what that is to anybody, do I?
No. And she was starting to blow the whistle, right?
The whistle on Nixon in general and his cover up.
His corruption.
Yeah, his corruption.
And they locked her in a room, and
among other things.
Among
Yeah.
other things.
I mean, just trying to discredit her as like an insane person. I mean,
Right.
we're essentially trying to get her sectioned.
They were
her husband was involved in helping with that.
Yeah, and there was doctors involved prescribing
Mm-hmm.
her medication to
Discredit
try to shut her up.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm. But actually pretty common. I mean,
And
it
now
seemed
we
like their
know-
modus operandi.
Yeah, now the conspiracy theory has kind of become the this is what we expect from our government now. Now nothing is shocking at this point. I mean, for me, personally and like in my lifetime, I think the whole like 9/11 fallout was where things really started to get crazy.
Do you mean 9/11 was an inside job?
I'm not even gonna go there, although we could definitely do that. But
I mean, I'm not saying let's go full Alex Jones, but it is something that some people say.
I'm saying that when it was like, where are the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? And it's like, we don't know. And then it was like,
well, you mean the whole Iraq War,
the whole Iraq War. And it's just like, I'm talking to people. They're like, "Oh, we have to do it." It's like, what? Why do we? I don't understand why we have to do it. Where are we haven't actually found the weapons of mass destruction. They're like, doesn't matter. They're bad. I'm like, but it's supposed to be, retaliation for 9/11, but they weren't involved in 9/11. Yeah. Hold on. It's like,
right. And the main suspect was Afghani, no?
Yeah, exactly.
In the first place.
And so the fallout of that was so bizarre, and for that to come out. And then for, shortly thereafter or just generally after 9/11, it was like the whole NSA thing. And it was like, it's like, oh, I keep hearing that, the government is keeping tabs on us. And everyone's like, the government is keeping tabs on
really
every
care about what you're
American
doing.
citizen. Yeah. It was like, you were crazy to say that. And then it's like, obviously Edward Snowden came out and proved that was absolutely what they were doing in insane grand fashion.
Mm-hmm. And that went really well for him, by the way.
Yeah, seriously.
As a whistleblower.
Yeah.
Really forgiving.
So it's a really interesting thing that now, seemingly very quickly, we've shifted from a country that kind of has somewhat of a, generally speaking, the average person would have an inherent trust to the government, to now being the total opposite, in which we have absolutely no trust. We don't believe anything they tell us. And basically now any conspiracy theory is
it all could sound right enough.
Yeah.
Right. And, I remember being an 82 baby, right? I definitely remember still some fallout in film and media when anyone was like Nam and Nixon. It was always kind of painting that character as just being off the rocker.
Yeah.
If someone was constantly ranting about Nixon,
right?
And they were constantly ranting about what were we doing in Nam, they were kind of being painted as like, oh, a PTSD psychopath, right? But actually, what were we doing in Vietnam? And absolutely Nixon was fully corrupt. So it's really interesting to see those things not age well.
That's one that I feel like we haven't gotten a lot of intel on. How involved do you think the CIA or whatever, our government bodies and institutions are involved in media? How deeply do you think they are?
How deep is their love? Very deeply. I think they're extreme. How much do you think Murdoch is colluding with the U.S. government? The guy who's essentially choosing presidents. I think pretty heavily. And the guy who's in charge of all media. I think pretty heavily.
True. Especially Hollywood, though. I'm always interested. I'm still stretching my brain to be like, and then they get the memo and the what's it called? They get a memo that tells them what they need to put in films and certain ways they need to.
Right. It's a hard, it's a hard jump to make, a hard leap. And I think that I purposely try not to fully go down any of these rabbit holes because I don't believe that I will get definitive answers. I think things get revealed kind of naturally, accidentally, or through extensive investigation by professionals. Right. I don't think me and my online, clacking is going to unearth any of this. So all I could really find is a bunch of paranoia and some weird pipeline to it alt-right
Yeah,
like
you
insanity.
don't
I
wanna
think
end up
it'll just
unfortunate.
end up in like, and this is why the Cheeto guy is gonna save our lives. I think all these conspiracy theories sort of end up in that funnel somewhere.
Yeah, a lot
They
of
get
the time.
spat out into that gutter. So I try not to follow them too far. But
Yeah.
do I suspect that they have a bunch of plants in many industries saying, push this the same way, they're trying to get people to smoke, because
Yeah.
it puts money in certain people's pockets, and the tobacco lobby is very popular, and, trying to put alcohol in every single scene.
Yeah.
That feels to me really flagrant. I mean,
It does.
I watched
It
a
really
show
does.
recently that Robin Wright Penn was in. I don't remember exactly the name of the show. And I was just really struck that this is a successful woman,
In the
rich,
character in the show, yeah.
the character in the show, a successful woman, rich, whatever, and obviously busy. She runs a gallery. She's drinking in every single scene, and often super heavily. And you could say that about most shows, and it's just, there is no way this person would be functioning at this level. I know they're functioning alcoholics, but this is morning, noon, and night. And
Everyone's
a
a
bottle of
functioning
wine
alcoholic
is
on
60
TV.
martinis. But yeah, it's too normalized, and it feels a little pushed.
I agree.
And I did recently have a conversation with you, and again, I don't follow these all the way to the end. I take these with a grain of salt, but also with a level of seriousness at the same time. It's the best I can do. You have to live in functioning reality to some extent. Like I kind of like take my foil hat and hover it over my head. I don't crank it down and like cock it to the side or anything crazy.
Right.
But I have felt that there's a lot of verbiage around dying young and living hard and fast and dying young in a lot of music. And I would say especially in the late 60s, early 70s kind of range, that
definitely right
mid-century to pushing into the 70s and 80s. And it seems to crop up again every couple of years. We had that Kesha song. It's like, we're dying, we're going to die young. We're not going to be here long.
We're going to die
it's like
young.
there was that whole thing around, Bowie or whatever about like, we're not going to, 5 years is all we got. We're not going to live till we're 30. I mean, there's literally a Beatles song. No, sorry, the Who song that's like, I hope I die before I'm old. And I just, it starts to feel like, why is this constantly being shoved down our throat, this idea? And I've listened to enough Gen X men talk about how they really just kind of wanted to be strung out and not like old and live long. So I feel like it does kind of make an impression on young, impressionable. I mean, that's redundant for me to say. I mean, it seems to actually get in subliminally to people's minds.
Yeah.
Hearing not one, but two people. I mean, I can say who. I remember Mark Maron saying this, and I also remember Bourdain saying they kind of wanted to get strung out on drugs. I think I remember Dax Shepard saying that too. It's like they just saw that being a thing for them. Like it was going to be cool.
It was
in
chic.
what world is being
It's a vibe.
strung out in LA
Sick.
ever going to be a fun ride?
Under the
Like,
bridge,
I think
doctor.
understanding like, I want to have fun and I want to go party, and then the consequences getting strung out is one thing. But thinking I want to be strung out just felt so wild to me. I'm like, what insane subliminal messaging are we hitting our kids with to get that,
Super weird.
And so it does start to feel suspicious, especially when you think about what the value of having, the youth kind of neutralized and distracted could be,
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That Kesha song, it's super extra creepy because there's like a delay, and it's just like die young, die young.
It's
die
like they take
young,
away the first
die
line,
young,
not like we're gonna die young.
And it just keeps like repeating creepily. I'm just like, I remember being in a grocery store hearing that song, like, what the fuck is going on?
And then hearing everything that happened with her too, with this crazy Dr. Luke Handler guy, you're just like, wait. So it kind of often feels like the artists connected with this kind of messaging, there's something else weird going on, right?
Yeah.
So you have this like, in The Who, you have this Townsend fella who wrote that song. I looked into that. Again, I don't go all the way down, but I'll check into things here and there. My search history is like, it's going to get me freaking on the CIA list. They're going to put like drugs in my water. But
boy.
I'm just kidding.
They already have.
He also has had, sort of less than savory allegations around young girls, right? And so you have something like that connected to a lyric like that. You start to be like, you have someone who's had such a hard time and has gone through so much in the industry, and maybe they're being asked to, sing die young, die young, die young to us a million times. And, the same entities that are kind of causing them their issues could be the ones who are in charge of making them sing that lyric at the kids, right at the kids.
This is a novel idea, like the songwriter / CIA operative. I like this, like crazy, so weird. That's that's how they would do it, because they're not. Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. It's like there's not memos that are passed down. There are people who maybe get co-opted or maybe have family ties to someone, and then they're like, they go down this career path and it's so crazy to me. I don't know. Well, you think about like the alcohol thing too. It's like there's the conspiracy theory level of like, okay, is this some kind of a mandate or some kind of a quota of number of drinks in your show? Like, it's hard to believe. But then there's also just like, that's our cultural narrative. Alcohol is fun. If you're rich, you can drink as much as you want. It's like,
right.
Like, and so there is even that, just like the subliminal level of like, people actually just believe this. Like, that's how they actually operate.
Right.
But then how does that get there in the first place? You know what I mean? And it's like, I guess it got there through TV, but then I don't know.
Well, advertising, even just before TV, like billboard advertising being like, this is something essentially pretty poisonous. By the way, until really recently, we've enjoyed drinking forever. So this is not me trying to be judgmental of anyone who drinks. But
it is a crazy thing.
The way that it has been sold to us over time is pretty wild. It's always, trying to be sold to us in this way of being something like classy and elevated, but ultimately is any of the effect of alcohol classy or elevated? I don't think that's really the effect it ever has had on me.
In the end, not really.
But even within what you're talking about, there's layers of what you could believe the nefarious intent is, right?
Exactly.
So it's like you could think, oh, the nefarious intent is something as extreme as get everybody to drink all the time, right? Or it could be as simple as these people want their advertising.
Right.
And
I know. I thought about the money.
It could be that simple. I mean, or it could be none of that. It could just be like the director likes to drink and whatever, who knows? It's always a who knows, but it becomes more and more like it's happened before. So the more this happens, it's more like it starts to become a wrinkle in your brain that you can't get rid of. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? It's like how much easier would it have been for all of us to just absorb the whole COVID, lack of really transparent information if we didn't have such a mistrust of the pharmaceutical industry from the dope crisis, or what is it called? People call it
the opioid crisis.
The opioid crisis. I mean, among other things. I mean, pharmaceutical companies do not have a great track record. So like, we're not just like, shoot me up right now with your vaccine from this maybe seemingly man-made disease that came from a lab. It's traced. You know what I mean? And it's like, I got vaccinated, did all the stuff, I put my mask on, so calm the fuck down. Yeah. But did I feel really great, slam dunk, trust everybody about it? Motherfuck no.
Not even close.
Yeah, I don't hit a hard F every day on this podcast, but that is a fuck no, bro.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, at some point I just had to make this judgment, this assessment that it's like, if it is endangering people, enough people have taken this and not, grown a horn or died, that I'm just going to go ahead with it. But, the skepticism was there.
Absolutely.
And, with everything that's come out about
Mr. Epstein,
and his friends and cohorts, it all kind of it's interesting. It's almost like you feel this, you smell the smell in the room, but you don't know the source, right?
Yeah.
And so while I should be in this like horrible shock, and the details are rough. Like I found that I can't really engage with that too much, but it's not giving me a shock to my system. It has that feeling of like, it just kind of, I don't know. It's affirming in a way.
Yeah.
You felt like something was rotten, and now you can actually see the spores and the maggots, right?
Well, when so much is just not adding up at all. So much feels so wrong, and so like you're just like trying to figure out what are the motivations here. It doesn't make sense. And then there's always just like or something that makes a little bit too much sense,
right?
Like, I don't know, how far do we want to go with what we're saying here? Are we to believe that our country has been held captive by Mossad, like essentially, and Epstein was a Mossad agent? I don't know. It seems
Again,
there's a lot of
it's
evidence
those
pointing
tiers
there.
of belief of what, right? Like you could believe that he's a Mossad operative. You could believe he's someone who wanted to create his own influence and for whatever he might be involved in, or, maintain his own secrets about his creepy behavior by ensnaring other people in the same kind of behavior. Or he wanted to, it's really sketchy to see how he amassed as much money as he did. So if it's just for extortion to be the billionaire that he was, that's also, a reasoning you could get behind. It certainly was not just him having parties.
No.
So we know that much.
But there's something especially weird with Les Wexner, and then there's this connection with Les Wexner to these other companies that were like trying to set up these like pretend city states in Honduras. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I heard a whole thing, and so that Les Wexner is connected to this program that was trying to create their own city states within the country of Honduras that were not subject to the rules and of living in Honduras.
It sort of felt like they were trying to make their own Cayman Islands,
their own government, their own Cayman Islands, and things like that, so they could run companies
kind of
out of it and be as unethical as they wanted.
Yeah,
and then that wasn't really working, and then apparently there's some connection to Greenland. Which, why would we want to go to Greenland? Well, apparently there might be a very good reason why.
I don't think it is to help the penguins, or I don't know if they're penguins in Greenland. I don't think it's any like Mickey Mouse reason. So again, this is where it becomes like, do we call it a conspiracy theory if there's no good other reason?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so yeah, that is the definition of a conspiracy theory. There's a theory that there is a conspiracy to do this, but why in God's name would we be trying to buy Greenland? Like,
I think that's what's like striking me. It's like the more that all this stuff comes out, it feels funny to me to call them conspiracy theories. It's just kind of like, it's like if someone slaps me in the face and I'm like, I have a conspiracy theory that you took your hand and you hit it in my face. Like, it's just so blatant that it's like, is it maybe not just observation?
Right. And to go back to like the Iraq war thing, it's like they didn't even bother to like figure it out. They were just like, actually, they didn't even fake pictures of weapons of mass destruction. They were just like, I guess we messed up on that one. But you know what? We needed to take care of this anyway. It's like,
that was some kind of awakening for, I think, a lot of people mine and your-ish age, where I think that was a moment for me, and maybe because I was just so young, maybe other people had those moments around the Vietnam War, whatever. But for me, that was the first time that I was like, they're not even trying to lie to us well.
No.
And I just think all these other efforts were such big efforts of cover-ups. They were so entrenched and so huge. Yeah. But here, they're just like, yeah, I mean, Afghanistan, Iraq, same thing, right? We don't care. Anyway, it was just very messy and just completely not resolved in any way. They're like, yeah, we're here for weapons of mass destruction. Never mind. We need to kill Saddam Hussein. Did he have anything to do with 9/11? No. Doesn't matter. This Afghan guy did. Dig him out of the hole. Nothing connected. Nothing made sense. And the more I tried to follow what they were saying, the more it just like sounded like absolute schizophrenia. And I was like, this makes no sense. And I was like, okay. So they don't feel the need to lie to us well anymore. That feels scary.
Super scary. And that was, exactly. Yeah. That was a turning point. Was a turning point. Is there oil in Iraq?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't think the Middle East has any oil. No.
Okay. All right, just checking. I just like it was just a weird.
God, what a whack job! I don't think I should have such a tinfoil hat on my podcast. I mean, essentially, this is like basically all I kind of wanted to unleash upon the world. I don't necessarily want to get into whether I believe, we're in certain countries for whatever reason,
But we are
because
in a lot
it can
of
be
countries.
dangerous to do that these days.
We know that we are in a lot of countries.
We'd be out there, and that's not a new thing, by the way. We love to topple governments and create puppet ones for nefarious reasons. That is not a new thing at all. No. I mean, now that we have the current thing going on in Iran, people have different names for it, but our involvement there,
sketchy.
Maybe at a different time in my life, a very different time, maybe around between the ages of 1 to 5, I might have believed that we were getting involved to help out.
Yeah.
That time is over. That doesn't seem to be a thing we do. I think when
Not
we're getting
interested.
involved, it tends to be, especially with the Middle East, we tend to have an ulterior motive. And it tends to be a really similar one every time.
Well, we know our government is not interested in helping anyone. That's for sure. Well, maybe one place. But anyway, yeah, we definitely are not interested.
I'm going to make my own
not
white noise.
Not interested in helping our own people. At like the very, like the last thing we want to do is help.
Yeah,
our own
the
people.
only person in this household
So-
with, well, no, you have health insurance through music health insurance.
Local government in
But
Austin,
let's just say my
Texas,
dog has
props,
health insurance.
props.
I do not.
Not about everything,
Yeah.
but props to the very local city of Austin
Yes.
and their deep care for the musicians of this place. It's one of the reasons
They're
I'm
not
here.
paying me, but they are paying or helping.
You're not a musician.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I'm just saying because this plug was getting a little lengthy.
It is getting
Yeah.
weird. Sorry. But yeah, it is a good thing here. But yeah, no, it's sorry. Where are we? Who am I?
I don't know, but I think you
Okay.
seem to be advertising your musician health insurance that no one else can get. Moving swiftly along.
This is like a weird brag. It's like, oh yeah, I get it. I get insurance. It's like the
And
weirdest
then you're
brag.
like, thank you to Austin, city of, like, what are we even talking about?
All right, sorry.
I don't know how to land the plane now.
We were
That was
talking-
really weird verbiage after some of the things we discussed today.
There's some other people that didn't know how to land a plane.
Okay, we're gonna call it for the day.
Okay, wait,
so
hold
think about
on.
what
Before you call it for
okay.
today, I want it. What about aliens? Just give me a quick aliens thing.
There's no quick.
The
I think
aliens
there
thing is
are-
crazy. That's the craziest one. The fact that we now have that one really is like the craziest one for me. I can't believe that I never thought I would live to see like a what's it called? What do they call it when they bring people in?
Like a deposition.
We are so bad at this. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, deposition. People being deposed by our actual government to be interrogated about like the existence of aliens, and them being like, probably.
Yeah, so there was that one who had no ears, and you're like, what in the...
God,
Are they
like,
just
what?
saying that this happened now? But I mean, we've always had those Area 51...
Area 51.
51.
Oh, yeah.
I was like 61, 51. Area 51 thing. And, there's been a lot of just kind of long-standing, I think largely kind of accepted that there were events, whether people thought it was like some other kind of military test or something, but
Right.
people believe that these certain things happen. I think the only real discrepancy is like, do people believe this was like extraterrestrial? Do they think that we had vehicles or flying vehicles that they were not telling us about?
Right.
But now we're finding that, in fact, we are going to call them.
Most certainly seems like.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna just keep changing the three letters.
What did they call the
UFP.
word? They had some wording for it again.
Yeah. No, I forget.
Well, let's not even try.
Forget it.
But
Yeah.
my
Anyway.
feeling about the aliens thing is that they said they pretty much exist. So I believe that.
Well,
because why
It
wouldn't
brings
I?
us full circle because now there's egg on my face because I was complaining about all those parents that say that they're from another planet, but now it turns out they're actually just.
They wouldn't tell us though, for the most part,
Yeah,
if they were,
exactly.
right?
I know.
So
Come on. I'm
it's
just
like
joking.
how like what's it called? Crazy people are never like, I'm crazy. You know what I mean?
Except for that guy who knocked on our door the other night. Anyway, oh boy. East Side living.
Okay.
No, he didn't say that.
This is getting crazy and non sequitorial.
myopic
It almost
right
sounds
now.
like you're trying to distract from the content of this podcast on purpose. It sounds like you are part of the conspiracy to silence me, Peaked, by just throwing in like insurance. It's great. It's amazing. This crazy guy came to mind. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
I just
genuinely.
want to say a big thank you to the United States. I pledge allegiance
I vote for Donald Trump.
to the flag. I took my hat off and my hair is insane for that
Yeah,
bit. So
that
I
was
want
a
everyone to
wild
know how
move.
much I committed to that bit.
Yeah. Well, so what about the moon landing, Charlie? You left me on the alien red. So what about the moon landing? Happened? Didn't happen? What are we going?
That's a tough one.
Get back to us. All right.
I don't.
It's been
I don't
great.
know. Yeah, I got an uncle at NASA. I want to ask him. He's like, yeah, it happened. Yeah, it happened. I'm like,
I think people's thing is like, but then why never again filmed?
yeah.
Ever?
Well, they're trying to do it right now. I think, right?
But why are
Anyway.
they trying if they manage to do it with less technology that far back?
Yeah,
Why is it a
exactly.
trying and not done?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just making the argument that people who pay more attention have made. I haven't looked this up. Maybe there's a very slam dunk easy reason why.
Right.
But it does seem strange that with all the advancements we have, SpaceX, whatever kind of shit, that something that we were able to do.
That's money that
then-
could be spent elsewhere, Yasmin. And I do mean elsewhere in another country.
a country that has a controversial idea of what its name might
From
be,
the
depending on
land
who you speak to.
Do you know that it's illegal to say from the land to the sea in Germany?
Yeah, I did hear
I
that.
saw that.
But I'm not in Germany, although I'm in a country that's starting to feel like a certain era of Germany. Anyway, with that, thank you for coming on Peak Podcast,
You're very
our final
welcome.
episode
You will never find this
on
again.
the final day of our lives. But no, seriously, thanks
right.
for
Thank you. No,
zooming
this is
this
fun.
shit with. I don't have any answers, just more questions.
This if you came here for answers, you're gonna leave hungry.
It's always a wrong place for that.
Definitely
Yeah,
wrong.
don't try to have a conversation in good faith with me. I would never do that. I would never suggest anyone else do it.
We are here to talk shit. Period.
All right.
Success.
Have a good rest of your week.
I pledge allegiance